Illegal immigration. Is illegal immigration a threat that many people in the United States fear? Are illegal immigrants taking jobs away from citizens? How are those who live near the border affected and reacting to illegal immigrants? Are illegal immigrants causing medical prices to rise? Since September 11th, we as Americans have become more aware of the threat of terrorists. How do illegal immigrants add to this threat? These are questions that we as Americans need to become more aware of and consider very carefully. I know this problem did not begin overnight, and I know this problem cannot be solved overnight, but we need to consider the actions that have been taken to remedy this problem and what further actions need to be taken. On April 23, 2010, Randall Archibald of the New York Times published an article reporting on how the governor of Arizona, Jan Buhr, has signed into law the nation's toughest bill on illegal immigration. This bill has served to stir quite a controversy across the nation. President Obama himself has strongly criticized it. In a speech from the Rose Garden, he stated that this bill threatened to undermine the nation's basic notion of fairness that we cherish as Americans, as well as the trust and loyalty between police and communities that is so crucial in keeping us safe. Many feel that this new law will open the door to discrimination against all Hispanics. Cardinal Roger Mahony, head of the nation's largest archdiocese located in Los Angeles, even stated that this new law would encourage German Nazi and Russian communist techniques. The reason for much of this controversy is because the new law contains several provisions. It would create a new state misdemeanor crime for failing to arrest immigrants that are unable to show documents and proof of their legal residence. It would allow people to sue if they feel a government agency has adopted a new policy that hinders illegal immigration enforcement. It would prohibit people from blocking traffic when they seek or offer day labor services on street corners. And it would also make it illegal to transport immigrants knowingly. Corporate America would be the one most impacted by this new law. This new law would serve as a red flag to corporate America, which thrives on illegal immigrants. Many illegal immigrants already have a job lined up for them before they leave Mexico. They are smuggled across the border and taken to businesses that have gone so far as to even place orders on the number of illegals they want. This transaction was against the law before the new Arizona law. However, companies were rarely punished, if ever. In 2004, Bartlett wrote an article called "Who Left the Door Open?" In this article, he reported on how these companies thrived on illegal immigrants. They were able to hire immigrants at wages that citizens could not live on, and therefore they were able to reap profit for them and their stockholders. For corporate America, illegal immigrants were a welcome sight. But unlike corporate America, there are many who do not see illegal immigrants as a welcome sight. Those living in the border in Arizona have a different view. They experience firsthand the crowds crossing the border and leaving behind backpacks, empty water bottles, dirty clothes, and plastic bags. These plastic bags are not only a litter problem, they also pose a threat to cattle. For example, if a cow eats a plastic bag and it becomes lodged between their first and second stomachs, many times they have to be killed. Littering is not the only problem. When illegals cut through the fences to go through, they do not stop and repair them. Therefore, ranchers have the problem of some of their cattle crossing into Mexico and vice versa. This creates extra time and work for both parties. However, crossing the border illegally is only the beginning of the problems. Healthcare is another issue that surfaces with illegal immigrants. Who is going to pay for it? An incident that occurred at the Copper Queen Community Hospital in Bisbee, Arizona may reveal that answer. An ambulance pulls up to the hospital and discharges illegal immigrants injured in an auto accident. Border Patrol officers, on orders from Washington, have refused to take them into custody. Instead, the officers have called an ambulance for the injured. If the officers were to arrive at the hospital to make the drop-off, the Border Patrol, make that the U.S. government, would be responsible for paying the medical bill. And that is something the federal government, make that Congress, will not do. This is only one incident at one hospital. How many more and what price are we, the citizens, paying? The price of medical care is one thing, but what about the price of our safety? Terrorism. Are illegal immigrants terrorists and a threat to our national security? In 2004, a Time investigation estimated that 3 million illegal immigrants would enter the United States that year. Time also calculated that as many as 190,000 illegal immigrants from countries other than Mexico would fade into the U.S. population. The Federation for American Immigration Reform website gave an estimate for 2011 of the number of illegals residing and taking jobs in America. In Texas alone, they estimated that there would be 1,292,340 illegals. With the horrible tragedy of September 11th and the open hostility of certain other countries toward the U.S., is enough being done to protect our border? When it comes to protecting our borders, the issue of human rights surfaces. There are those who believe in states' rights that should be regulated for illegal immigrants, but they also believe human rights should be regulated also for all people, legal and illegal. The problem here is making a distribution between human rights and taking responsibility. In the Hastings Center report, James Dwyer wrote an article reporting on, stating, taking responsibility is more about seeing patterns and problems, examining background conditions, not passing the buck, and responding in appropriate ways. A society need not bear full responsibility in order to seem social responsibility. In conclusion, illegal immigration has been a problem since World War II. American citizens are losing jobs, the cost of medical care is increasing, and the threat of terrorism has become more of a threat to Americans, all due to illegal immigration. We have the technology to send people to the moon, and we serve as peacekeepers for countries all across the nation. Therefore, a question we need to ask ourselves is, why is it so hard to find a solution to this problem?